How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and today I'm reviewing the Perplexus Teeter. This is one of 3 world's coolest Perplexus keychain mazes, and it is the only world's coolest Perplexus keychain maze that is its own unique puzzle. So the other 2 keychain Perplexuses are smaller versions of existing Perplexus games. This is an all-new maze specific to the keychain line, and it is also the shortest of the 3 keychain Perplexuses. However, it is also arguably the most difficult. There are no numbered stages or levels on this Perplexus, so I'm just going to go through the little obstacles, the difficulty, and then give you my thoughts on it. So in terms of obstacles, it's pretty straightforward. You have a bunch of just regular track. You have one single of these classic little Perplexus loop pieces that just allows you to flip from one side of the track to the other. And then the main feature of this maze or puzzle is the big teeter seesaw element in the middle that's just on a hinge that swings back and forth. And of course, you have to steer the marble through both sides of the teeter in order to get to the end. Now, while that might seem pretty straightforward, the biggest challenge is actually having to drop the marble through this little hole and into the teeter because of how it spins and what angle it has to be on to spin. That is by far the most challenging element of this set, and it also can be a bit of a challenge to get it to tilt in the right direction without, the marble falling off. That is really it in terms of obstacles. There's not a lot to this maze. Like I said, it is very, very short, but that teeter obstacle is complex enough that it definitely makes it a challenge. Additionally, because this is so small, and you can literally see it is no bigger than the palm of my hand, it is a very, very small Perplexus. The marble here is very small, and that surprisingly adds a little bit of increased difficulty as well, because you're dealing with like static, electricity, and friction that sort of prevents it from moving super easily. So you'll notice how the marble actually wants to stick to the outside here. It's very hard to get it towards the middle, and that's one of the I think frustrating things about this. It's actually very hard to get the marble to the middle to start here. Once you do, obviously it becomes very easy, but again, even as you see as I'm doing this, the marble kind of naturally wants to stick to the outsides, and so like it takes a little bit more of me leaning the maze this way to really get the marble to move, and that's just because, of the static, the friction. And so that does add another dimension of challenge to this puzzle, just because it does feel sometimes like you have to put a little bit more force and movement into the ball, and then of course you risk by making more jerky or forceful movements, you risk falling off the maze as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword in that way that definitely adds an additional challenge. Overall, this is a puzzle that I really would only recommend for people who are collectors of Perplexus. It's difficult to complete, but it's not really a lot of fun because it's so short and simple, even though it's challenging, and even just the frustration or annoying nature of trying to get to the start of the track. It just makes this not really a worthwhile purchase. The marble is so small here that, again, it has those difficulties that I mentioned, and all in all, this really only has appeal to avid Perplexus collectors, I would say. Certainly not something I would get as an introduction into the series because it's not very representative of Perplexus as a whole. That said, I do think this is my favorite of the keychain Perplexuses just because it is unique. And so if you are a collector and there was one that you wanted to collect, I'd say this would be the one because it is special and it is a fun little challenge. But these are also no longer being produced, so you can only find them for resale, which means they're a little bit difficult to find and probably also a little more expensive than you would like them to be. So that is my review for the Perplexus Teeter, guys. If you liked the video, click the like button down below. It is a great way for you to show your support. Subscribe for more content like this, Perplexus videos, walkthroughs, reviews, all that sort of stuff. I have a ton of it on my channel. I have a playlist that will be in the end cards that you can check out. Tons of Perplexus content, and I'm bridging out into other maze and puzzle game content as well. So again, if any of that interests you, check it out, subscribe so you can be notified as soon as those videos come out. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one.